How can someone still be there and already be gone? There is a specific kind of loneliness that has no name. It isn't the loneliness of being alone. It is the loneliness of sitting 3 inches away from someone and feeling completely invisible. They still sleep beside you. They still text back. They still say the right things at the right times, but something shifted, something quiet. You felt it in your chest months before your mind could explain it. And here is the worst part. You can't point to it. There was no big fight, no betrayal to hold up as evidence. Nothing dramatic to prove that what you're feeling is real. Just a warmth that used to be there and then, without announcement, was not. If you've ever lived inside that feeling, this video is for you. Because what you're experiencing has a name. It has a pattern, and understanding it is the only thing that will finally let you breathe again. This is the silent breakup. It is the most painful thing a human being can endure, precisely because you are grieving something that technically hasn't ended yet. Stay with me, because what I'm about to share, including a specific discovery from the world's leading relationship lab, will change how you understand every ending you've ever experienced. We've been lied to about how love ends. We picture a moment, a door slamming, a phone call, a final, explosive conversation. But most relationships don't end with a bang. They end the way a fire goes out. Not with a sudden blow, but one small piece of warmth at a time, until one day you reach for the heat and realize the room has been cold for months, and you were the last one to notice. That isn't a failure of love. It's a failure of language. You didn't have the words for what was happening while it was happening, so you waited, you adjusted, you convinced yourself the distance was just stress or a phase. Meanwhile, the person across from you had already begun their departure, not physically, emotionally, and emotional departures are the quietest and most devastating kind of cruelty. Here is exactly how it begins. Watch for these 3 stages. Stage 1. The retreat of depth. The conversations that used to stretch past midnight, they get shorter. Topics stay on the surface. You start filling the silences with your phone or the TV, anything to make the quiet feel less loud. Stage 2. Functional touch. A kiss before work, a hand briefly placed, a hug that releases a second too early. It's checkbox intimacy. It's contact without lingering. Stage 3. The absence of laughter. The jokes stop landing. The eyes still crinkle, but the spirit behind them is elsewhere. This is when you start doing what I call interior detective work. You become a forensic investigator in your own home, reading every text for subtext. Did they initiate today? Was that hug shorter than yesterday? That hypervigilance is exhausting. It's your nervous system trying to protect you, because even before your mind catches up, your body already knows the truth. There is a reason this pattern is so terminal. Dr. John Gottman spent 40 years studying couples in the love lab. He found one behavior that predicts relationship failure with over 90% accuracy. It wasn't anger. It wasn't even fighting. It was stonewalling, the silence, the retreat. He found that relationships don't die from conflict. They die from the absence of repair. The moment one person stops turning toward the other to bridge the gap, the relationship enters a terminal state. The silence fills in what words were supposed to hold. But I want to tell you what's actually happening on the other side, not to excuse it, but to stop you from blaming yourself. When someone emotionally withdraws, it's rarely one single event. It's an accumulation of swallowed feelings. What begins as a minor hurt becomes distance. What begins as unexpressed longing becomes indifference. And indifference, not anger, is the true opposite of love. The person leaving often knows it before you do. They stay a little longer than they should out of guilt. I call this the mercy trap. Staying out of kindness is actually a slow, quiet cruelty. You are left grieving a relationship that technically still exists, carrying a weight that has no name. There is a deeper layer here, one that might break your heart but will ultimately set you free. Sometimes people don't leave because they stopped loving you. They leave because intimacy itself became terrifying. For someone with an avoidant attachment pattern, being fully seen feels like danger, not safety. The closer you got, the more their internal alarm system screamed, pull back, protect yourself, don't let this matter, because anything that matters this much can destroy you. They didn't leave because you weren't enough. They left because you were almost everything, and they weren't equipped to handle the weight of that. It wasn't a verdict on your worth. It was a map of their wound. Think about your life right now, not in the abstract. Specifically, is there someone who says everything is fine while the room grows colder? Are you performing, trying to be funnier, warmer, more perfect, desperately trying to summon the version of them that used to look at you like you were extraordinary? If that's you, hear this. You are not too much. You are responding rationally to an irrationally situation. When the ground beneath you shifts, of course you reach for something solid. That isn't neediness. That is love trying to breathe in a room with no oxygen. The problem was never your love. The problem was the silence that surrounded it. So what do you do if you're in it right now? I offer you one sentence. It is simple and it is terrifying. I've been feeling a distance between us lately, and I don't want to keep pretending it isn't there. Can we talk about that? That sentence is the ultimate repair attempt. The silent breakup feeds on avoidance. It starves when you turn the light on. You might not get the answer you want. It might reveal the end. But at least you will be living in the truth instead of a performance of normalcy you never signed up for. You deserve the full version of love. You still do. But what if the silence isn't because they're pulling away? What if they love you with everything they have and they're still walking away? The next video is about that specific agony, why love isn't always enough. It's the video that will change how you see every ending you've ever lived through. Like, subscribe, and turn on your notification. See you in the next video. Before you go, I want to create a space for the truth we usually hide. Complete the sentence in the comments. The moment I knew something had changed, but could not say it yet was when one memory, one sentence. I read every single one.